All right, so I noticed I haven't been setting a timer for anything. Ignore the mess in my garage. It's a work in progress. The important thing to me right now is just continuing to stay consistent with my workouts. I've got a little kitchen timer here. I've got 10 minutes set to it. Today I'm going to work basic little drills on the speed bag, trying to figure out how to use this thing. Keep in mind, guys, I'm not a professional. I'm not skilled in stand-up range whatsoever. Just somebody who likes it, studies it on the internet, and then trying to get in better shape. That's all. So let's see what we can't get started here today. Woo, that sucks. Woo! The speed bag is difficult, y'all. It ain't no joke when you see those dudes just rattling it off at a lot faster clip. Like that, they're very talented and spent a lot of time working on these. You watch Tony Ferguson hit this thing and he makes it so fun looking. And then you try to do it and you're like, man, Tony, you're a beast. And he's got one of those cool small balls. Woo, see that? motorcycle helmets. Anybody wants a motorcycle helmet? I got one. Yeah, if you guys noticed when I walked away, I am wearing a cup. I'm trying to loosen up. I'm trying to get the feel for if I ever did compete in boxing or anything, what would I have to actually move around with? You know, what's the apparatus I need to be working with? You see a lot of the boxers wearing them on the outside of their clothes. And I did some digging. That's so they can get used to wearing it. Get used to the heat that builds up on the inside. You'll see them push down. All that is going to be a huge factor come fight night if you've never wore one or didn't get used to training or fighting with the protective gear on. Amateur boxers used to wear headgear. Some of them still may, for all I know. And they would practice with it on because it closes your sight. And I know I suck at this, guys. Keep in mind, I'm just trying to move a little bit, get in better shape, and loosen my arms up a little bit here. Eventually, though, if you've got any ways for me to improve on this other than just pure repetition, or even if it's just that for motivation, tell me, you know. I want to be decent enough at this to where if my son ever wants to box, I can get him started and not get him hurt, you know. Let's try that. It's gonna be hard, y'all. Let's see if I can pump it with my right. And I don't even know what the cadence is supposed to be on one of these. I got this feedback from my ex-sister-in-law and brother-in-law a couple Christmases ago, and I really enjoy it. Probably the best thing that ever came out of our relationship. I just need to be better at it, you know. I need to put more time into it. Now that my son's starting to get older, I don't feel as guilty about coming out here and working out. As a baby's born, you know, they require a lot of time and effort. You know, mom, she carried the weight. She did a lot of stuff making the baby himself, so I felt real guilty, even if everybody had gone to sleep, if there was anything that needed done inside, about coming out here and going to town and starting to work out. Back then, when he was born, my garage was full of weights, as lifting was kind of like my mental escape, just because I've always done it somewhat well. Well, as time passed, my passion switched from less working out with weights and more working out to get in better shape and become better at what I'm actually into. You know, I enjoyed lifting weights because I was good at it. And yeah, sure, I watched the Strongman when it came on ESPN, but I didn't follow the sport like somebody should and would if they were that passionate about the sport. Boxing, MMA, I've watched since the inception of MMA. My father used to rent the boxing pay-per-views growing up. He'd have his friends come over. So I've watched Oscar De La Hoya growing up, Floyd Mayweather, watched him transition into Money Mayweather. Got to see the Mike Tyson comeback extravaganza. And him versus Lennox Lewis and him versus Evander Holyfield. We ordered the fight that fit his ear. And that's always been what really fired me up. Come wrestling season, it was boxing that would get me excited. MMA that would get me excited, that make me want to lose weight, make me want to go out there and become a better wrestler, do better on the mat, hoping to get secondary opportunities, which we all know, unfortunately, didn't happen. My school work, I didn't put the time and effort in that I should have back then. I've often said since then, If I had the ability then to learn and the desire then to learn that I do now, probably would have been a valedictorian. And that's called maturity, folks. I think everybody kind of goes through it a little bit, especially if you've got a child or you got a child on the way. That's a big wake-up call as to what are you doing with yourself? You got a life that's coming that's 100% dependent upon you and what you're going to provide for it. And the first initial opportunities in its little world is up to you and your partner or wife. And that's a role that I took very serious and started doubling down. At the beginning, when I first found out my wife or then fiance was pregnant, I was scared to death because, like I just said, school was never my big favorite, best thing I've done. So I was afraid that my boy was going to grow up, or girl for that matter, we didn't know, was going to grow up and think I was ignorant. So I kind of quit listening to music, quit watching so much TV, and instantly started diving into the world of podcast and Facebook. Anything that kind of sparked my interest a little bit, I started going down a rabbit hole and trying to learn as much as I could. And then I would do that for a couple days, and then I would try to learn the argument against that to see if that was, bullshit or if it was something legit. And along the process, man, I lost weight, started weight, lost weight here and there, and got myself to right around 275. Well, when he was about 1 year old and I had started at a new doctor, and I was just completely disgusted with myself. I was 315 pounds. I had ballooned back up to the biggest I had ever been at this point. 275 was the biggest I was before that. And I would go up to 275, come back down to 250, go up to 275, come down to 260. And I just continued to do that. And that's not good on my heart. I've already got a bad heart. So I just started telling the doctor, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to start to get in better shape. I want to start be able to focus more. So she started running all kinds of tests. She's got me on some medicine. And I'll tell you, I never felt more optimal. And I want to take advantage of the optimal version of me all the way around. So what you're going to see again, I'm going to re-emphasize on my YouTube channel, is basically a vlog. It's going to be, for lack of a better description, a documentary over my life and my journey onto living the dream, what it is that Carlos Garcia wants to do with his life, so that I can provide the very best opportunities for my child and my wife. Because if I do that, then obviously I will have a very fulfilled and successful life also. So that's the motivation behind what I'm doing here. I also want to build a community of positive people. Everybody that I happen to follow, everybody I happen to look up to in the world of entertainment, if you will, or just in the world in general, they seem to be stuck on, don't be a dick just to be a dick. Let's be more positive. Let's try our best to help our brothers and sisters. When you look at what Rogan did in California with the comics, and they weren't all competition. He was helping each other. He was building them up. He was promoting them on his podcast, and it helped him become the largest podcast in the world. You start looking at guys like Conor McGregor, where he's talking about seeing things into existence and working hard, and through hard work and dedication, he was able to change the landscape of MMA. All that is exactly the principles behind what I want to do. I would like to just entertain people for a living. Come on my phone or my computer and talk to some people, get some feedback, and through entertainment, also better myself, converse with some people.